Shocking revelation. Mohbad's dad buried him before he died, says late singer's mom, as she makes a very huge allegation against Mohbad's father. Hello everyone, you're so much welcome. Abosede, that's the name of late Mohbad's mom. Mohbad, popularly known as Mohbad, of course, and with his name Ilerioluwa Aloba, his demise has been one that has been heartbreaking for a lot of Nigerians, either as a parent or just as a human being. Losing a 26-year-old promising young man to such circumstances is just very painful. And the mom had decided at this time around to step up on her coming out. This is not the first time she's coming out. She's has gone to a few of the blogs or TikTok programs where she laid her mind on what has been going on, saying her own side of the story. But this time around, she decided to go to Punch newspapers. That's one of the most respected and established, recognized print media that we have in Nigeria. In an exclusive interview and fresh interview with Saturday Punch, with the caption of the article titled Uncensored, Mohbad's mother opens up on late son, ex-husband, and Naira Marley. She reveals that despite residing in Joseph's house for a period of 10 days, Mohbad's house just a period of 10 days before he passed on, she was oblivious to the exact day of his buy. Her words, which I'm going to read out. I actually did not know when my son Mohbad died. His father did not tell me. I was in his house for 10 days. Shortly before he died, I ran back there when I heard that he had died. I was the one who called his father and siblings to inform them. I brought them all together. I called their father to come and see me with all the children, despite all he had done to me. I did not have the strength to fight with him because I found happiness in my children and because they are grown up. I brought them all together, but their father separated us. I believe that my son was not died as of the time he was buried. I actually told them not to bury him, but they refused. If they had not buried him at the time he did, I believe he would have lived. Joseph is actually my problem. I believe that he buried my son before he died, she alleged. In his defense, Aloba, in an interview, cited Yoruba tradition for the swift burial, noting it's customary when both parents are alive. Now, you remember, for those of us who have been following this story, when Baba was continually slammed for the quick burial of Mohbad, he apologized to Nigerians, saying that it is because maybe I think he said no mortuary was collecting his body or something, and that in Yoruba culture it was a taboo for a child who still has parents alive to be kept without being buried swiftly. He suggested that if Mohbad had died older, a mortuary might have been considered. He said that because Mohbad was the young guy, that's why they quickly buried him. That if it was an older person, he might have considered okay. Mohbad's father added the burial site was Mohbad's own land given to him for a church. So that is what Madam has said. And people are now thinking, say, Madam, Nibola tu jasibai. That now you're accusing your husband of burying my son, and it was not quite as at the time that happened. Now we're going to take some comments. The first person said, where were you, the mother? Another said, the noise is no longer necessary. Mohbad died with the secret of his life. Only him knows everything. As for his parents, the deed had been done and it's irreversible. Another said, did you guys listen to the father when he came to Berekete with ordinary Ahmed? You will understand the father tried his possible best, but police and hospital refused him all the necessary things. Another said, as far as concerned, Wunmi pied him because she knows Mo's worth. God so kind he cannot sideline his father. As for the mother, that one na Mumu, where Bele face. Wunmi, you end the life of that young blood, knowing people would turn to Naira Marley because of his strength. But God go expose you, Wunmi. Another said, Aloba Joseph is a demon. who sacrificed his son in the coven in order to shine with his glory and gain double promotion in the coven. If you died, why don't you allow the doctors to certify he died instead of hurrying to bury him in an undersized coffin, thereby breaking his neck? When Davido gave you 3M for the burial. Okay, another person said, Abiagba, not Abiamo. You no get shame. You and Wumi go explain tire. You don't deserve to be a mother. Another said, this S-woman should shut up. They no finger Ayeye brain. Another said, anybody who heard her talking now would think she's doing it for her son's sake. Whatever she's doing is for the money's sake. No good mother would abandon her children for months, talk less of years. Another said, even when the husband wants to buy her. Another said, what shameless woman you are. Another said, God go show her because she doesn't deserve to be a mother. Another said, but why was he buried hurriedly, considering the circumstances surrounding his spy? He wouldn't have been hastily buried. He was hurriedly buried by his father, and it raised a lot of suspicion. And despite that he is his father, he still needs some questions to be answered as regards the reason why he has to rushly bury him, even when he was not fully dead. Another said, somebody certified dead right from hospital. Don't you think it's okay to bury him? Another said, so why didn't he keep him in the morgue and carry out the investigation to unravel the mystery behind his spy? You need to recall that people protested his already being buried, which actually led to his exhumption for autopsy. That is to tell you that he won't have already buried him, even if he was pronounced dead by a doctor, but he would have kept him in a morgue for investigation to be carried out with a view to unravel the mystery behind his spy. Another person said the haste with which the guy was buried leaves much to be desired. If anything, most body was exhumed fresh from the grave with fresh blood about 9 days after burial. Body did not decompose. This lends credence to his mother's claim that the guy was buried alive. Another said, may God no give any man bad wife. Another said, this woman has no shame at all. The children she abandoned and left, only to come back when Mohbad has made it. Now running her mouth anyhow. She's a shameless mother. Another said, Mama, you failed as a mother. Please stop giving these useless excuses. Another said she might be confused, but she raised a very valid point. Which hospital or medical practitioner pronounced him spy? Who issued the death spy? And why the rush to bury? These are legit questions we should ask the father. How can a man who claims to be a prophet still give excuses with tradition? Come bear. Another said, this woman is evil. One of the worst things that can happen to a man is to get married to a wrong and wicked woman. Another said, I dey vex inside me when I hear these so-called irresponsible parents of Mohbad talking. Another said, a lot of noise about this guy. Make una let him rest in peace, I beg. Another said, look at the story of a failed mother. He's not even ashamed of all this trash. If you're a responsible mother, how on earth will your glorious son go through all that and you didn't know? I mean, a son you abandoned for 15 years old. Another said, Mama, please allow your son to rest in peace now. This wahala too much. Another said, this woman is confused. First, he's not the biological father. Now, Mohbad's father buried him. Another said, they should stop the story of this boy. What does the mother stand to gain by all this? Enough of this story, Biko. Another said, this same useless woman once said Joseph Aloba was not the real father of Mohbad. I think she's hiding a lot of things. She ought to be arrested now. Another said, in fact, as it is now, his mother should be the prime suspect. Another said, Madam, you should not be taken seriously. A woman that left a matrimonial home without considering the safety of her kids. Another said, but at first, when you were crying of your son's spy, you said Wunmi, Mohbad's wife, have spied your son. Now he's your ex-husband. Aloba that spied your child. Madam, be very mindful of what you're saying today. Tomorrow, someone might even remind you. Another said, all these rubbish people should allow this man to rest. If the mother didn't stupidly run away from her husband and abandon the boy for the father to suffer for him alone, all this nonsense would not have happened. This woman should be ashamed of herself talking about the late young guy with her nonsense character contributed to what happened to the young man. She's not a wife and a mother material, despite the age. Where has she since when the nonsense started? Is now she's coming out to speak? Another said, this is a foolish woman, a gold digger. When you neglected the children to abscond from your matrimonial home for other men, this man single-handedly raised this child up to secondary school and polytechnic. If you were there to play your motherly role, it would have been a different thing today. Inheriting your child now is a cost on you. You were not there when he needed you most. Why now, mama? Another said, this narrative is not logical at all. You can't tell the actual time your son died, yet you were the one who called the father and everyone all together. Like, seriously? Is this woman okay, or her son's spy has made her lose her sense of reasoning? This story doesn't just make sense. Another person said, Mama, you are 100% correct on this one. He died after burial. Another said, a woman that chooses to stay away from her children no matter what is not a good woman. You did not fight for your family to be together, so things like this could surface. Another person said, a bad mother like you is supposed to hide her face in shame. My people, let us stop at this comment, because a lot of people are giving Mama gbasgbos to be like, Mama, your level of irresponsibility is very high. Regardless of how wicked Joseph Aloba has been, or whatever he has done, or whatever has happened between both of you, leaving your own biological children for 10 years is inexcusable. Now, my own opinion is this. For whatever reason, a woman is not supposed to leave her children. Okay, let's agree they split the children. She was with the younger one, that's Adura, and Mohbad and Blessing, the older ones, were with Baba. Yes, you might have trained Adura, but the two children you left behind as well, they matter. A lot of women would have separated from their children, even had bitter separation from their husbands. But as much as they are still in that same country, and to this position, the same state, nothing stops you from making sure you trace your children and making sure you are still in their lives. Some women in this position, I'm not judging, I'm just sharing perspectives here. Some women in this position, if the man is not allowing them to come to the house to see the children, will find a way to see their children in school, will find a way to be friends with either the head of the school or a teacher who will be giving their children sweets. Oh, this sweet is from your mommy. Keep it secret. And those should be points of reference for you now to say, yes, I was not allowed to see my children, but I found a way to see them. Those formative years, those listening ears matter a lot. And everybody can see Mohbad had a fantastic heart. He has to love his family, to have his family together. He has to be responsible. How many 26-year-old men, young guys, are thinking of marriage? Yet he got married and he has a son. Thank God he did. Whether the son is now of questionable paternity or not, he did not refute that while he was alive. So, Mama, as long as people want to, thank God the video where you and Baba your husband, father of your children, Joseph Aloba, were pleading with Naira Marley. Thank God that video got out. At least we saw that you went there to plead. But the truth is, when an Abiyamo knows that somebody is stressing your son, and your son has not done anything wrong, okay, you went to beg because you don't want wahala. That wahala that you were running away from now is what you are now seeing. Sometimes it's not by doing smeh. Nobody can tell you not to pariwo for ọmọ tó ń gbẹ̀mí ẹ̀ tó ń fòrò ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ now. If your son is saying don't pariwo, ọjọ́ kan gbọ́ ló máa bẹ́ síta ló máa pariwo pé èmi ni mo bí ẹ, I will pariwo because I can't let somebody come and fòrò ẹ̀mí ẹ̀. Ọmọ wèrè gan kò sẹ́ni tó lè fọwọ́ kan ọmọ wèrè. A woman wey get mental issues, wey dey sleep for outside with him pikin, to collect him pikin you go work, you go think strategy, you go tire to collect the pikin of demented woman. So this is a lesson, because this particular angle of Mohbad's life, people always splash it on Mama Mohbad's face. That Mama, you did not do well when these children were growing up. And it is not going to stop. Baba has an edge over her on that one. Nobody can take it. No matter how much we don't agree. For me, some of the steps Baba is taking, I do not agree. But nobody can refuse him his flowers for being the present and intentional parent. And that is where Baba has more scores than you, Mama Mohbad. You have a voice. Whatever you said now is valid. Now, maybe it is now the truth or the fact. It's now left for investigation or whatever to reveal that Mohbad never pie before Baba bury him. Please, constructively drop your comments in the comment section below, because this Mohbad family matter, it get wings both on Baba's side and on Mama's side and even on Wumi's side. But we'll watch with our sense and be seen as the thing they go. Because obviously, this guy don't see shaggy for a lifetime. And even now where he don't buy, the shaggy still never stop. What a pity. Ireo.